Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, the Designer Kid, bringing you another video on this beautiful Sunday morning. Let's get it, man. What sucks is I just actually recorded a whole video. Got to check it out, and guess what? No audio. So guess what we're doing? We're doing it all over again. Second time's a charm. All right, man. So the title of this video is going to be thankful for what you have. I'm going to repeat for the people in the back that came to work late. Be happy slash thankful for what you have. I heard a quote on a video not too long ago where a guy said, you can never upgrade until you're thankful for what you do have. Meaning, you would never get the Benz if you ain't thankful for the Honda. And that's so real. Like in my lifetime, I've had my share of ups and downs. I've had my times where I felt like money wasn't an issue. Everything seemed to be coming to me. And I can't even say that I was living the right way when that was happening, because I wasn't. Those things were still coming. Why? I don't know. Maybe I do know now. We might get into that later on. But it wasn't until I adopted what that gentleman said in the video and I really pondered on it. It wasn't until then till I really started seeing the results of that. I'm gonna give you guys a little backstory. Last year, man, I ended up losing the vehicle that I had. Went through some mechanical issues with it. Ended up losing the car unexpectedly, so I was without a vehicle for a couple months, man, and I just had got another job. Like, I really needed to be at this job consistently to work myself out the hole that I had got myself into. So I went, man. I was doing I was trying to implement all type of things, man, to get back and forth to work and Ubering. Hell, I even considered buying a motor to strap into my BMX bike, man, and riding to work every morning. But I do stay in the country. That would be kind of far and dangerous on my behalf. So I just couldn't do that. I had to stay down and get crafty, man. I really did. I had to stay down. I had to get crafty. I had to stay locked in. Um, and I had to stay motivated. But more than any of those, I had to stay thankful. Even though I didn't have a car, even though I didn't know how I was gonna get home, a lot of days, I had to stay thankful that I had somewhere to go to. Every day that I woke up, I could open up my eyes and look around and look at people that were in worse situations than I was in. Um, and it gave me another perspective on life. Like, why? How could I be complaining about not having a car when I'm going to work, seeing a guy leaving from the mission, walking down the street to get a biscuit in the morning? Like, not only do he not have a car, but he don't have nowhere. He don't have a home either. Not only that, he's in a wheelchair. So a lot of these things, I wanted so bad, and I wanted, things in my life and stuff like that. I still had to be thankful, even though I didn't have it. And I continued to do that. I continued to help people along the way where I could. And after about, I would say about 2 months. After about 2 months, I end up, some came to me. That's one thing about the universe. Trusting in the universe and trusting God, and being aligned the right way, man, things just happen, man. You really don't have to worry about them. That's another thing I need to get into too. Prior to me adopting this wisdom and doing these things, I was the type that I would always, you know them people, and I'm sure all of us is kind of like this. Those people that no matter what you do, you always have that damn balance, your bank balance in the back of your mind. You know, you always weighing out what you have versus what you spend. Like, I'm always think, man, I got that light bill coming up. Man, rent is gonna take my whole check. I had to when I started incorporating being thankful and just stop even worrying about this stuff. And that's one reason why I've came up with the brand. If you don't know the name of the brand, you should by now. The Uncommitted Company. That's the main reason why I named the brand. I wanted the whole movement to be that is because that's where I found myself. That's where I found the valleys. That's where I found the roads to lead to where I'm at now. Is where when I dropped that commitment to all these other people. I had so many commitments to old relationships, friends, bills, jobs. I was putting everybody before myself. And when I came to that realization and I dropped it and I started putting me first, everything just fell in line. That put me in the right alignment to receive everything that I'm receiving at this point. But make a long story short, is I kept faith and I stayed thankful. Even though if I didn't have a car, I was thankful that I made it home at the end of the day. And I end up getting a look. I end up buying a piece of shit, man, from a girl that I work with. And she was so cool about it, man. Shout out to Randy, man. Fuck with you the long way, man. Randy sold me the piece of shit that she was driving at the time. And she let me give her $200 for it. I owed her the other two, so partial payment type thing. And the truck came without a hood. Let me tell y'all this, man. The truck came without a hood, no AC. Man, it was crazy, man. The wrong tag. I didn't have a title for it. I just had a bill of sales for it. But coming from somebody that had been riding a bike and catching Ubers back and forth to work, man, you would take that any day, man. I rode that truck, man, like it was my own, man. Imagine the confidence you having to have pulling up at the light, being me. Now, I'm still that guy now. Yeah, I'm still a hell of a dude, man. But pulling up to the light, hood off I'm talking about the jalopy of the jalopies. And people looking to the side and you just still having to keep that game face and that confidence up, man. But I rode that joker, man. I rode that joker. And what's crazy, I just got rid of that truck last week, man. And I kind of hated for it to go because that truck had symbolized so many obstacles that I had been through in life. It also symbolized sometimes when you're giving or you get something, it may not be the best, but you should be able to look back and see the purpose that it served at that time. And now that I think about it, that truck had a lot of sentimental value to it. It represented victory in a lot of ways in my life. Cause like I said, I had went for it wasn't a long time, and I do know people. I went out here walking back and forth and stuff like that. And I'm not too good to not be able to do that. If I had to do that, I would have did that for sure. But I went out here like that. But that truck symbolized victory for me, even if it was a fucking beer can with no top on it. Like, I stayed humble, man, and I got blessed with that, man. And people used to see me in it and pull up and be like, man, why are you driving it? Are you crazy? I said, man, I got to get to work, man. That's the only thing I got to get to work, man. I just got to get to work. And I went and I went and pivoted my lifestyle to where I only went to work. Like I knew I couldn't be in this truck willy nilly like that, you know. And it was bought to serve one purpose, as a stepping stone to get to the next level. So I bought the truck, and I literally rode that truck. Only went to work and back in that truck, man. That was it. And I think I rode that truck for about 3 or 4 months, man. Don't you know? And this is how good God and slash the universe, however you want to call it, is. Um, Man, I didn't get pulled over one time in that truck. I didn't get one ticket in that truck. The truck didn't have a hood on it, guys. Like, I wish I could. If I would have thought about it, I would have posted it just to let you guys see. It didn't have a hood, guys. Like, I literally used to let it rain. I mean, I ain't had no choice. I used to literally just let it just rain all in the hood, man. I would just undo the battery, just to save my headlights and stuff like that. And just imagine riding it on a day-to-day basis back and forth to work, man. I never got a ticket in it, thank God. But just recently, I just got blessed where I just got me another vehicle and stuff, and I'm tagged up, insurance and stuff like that. But tying that back to the topic of this video, I wouldn't have been in the position that I am in now if I wasn't thankful for the piece of shit that I had before this. Like, let's just start there. Like a lot of trials and tribulations, man, that we go through is unfortunate. A lot of it is, BS. But with all of those ups and downs and bad situations, man, there are always gems that you can learn. There's always game that you can pick up from it. And being thankful for things that's not necessarily good things, like trash. Somebody give you a trash vehicle and that's all they got just to help you out to get back and forth to work. You got to be thankful for that. If you don't be thankful for that, I don't think you get past that. I think you continue to ride that piece of junk. Like, and that's just the way that things are designed. The older that I am, the older that I'm getting, the more wisdom that I'm able to squeeze out of these tough times and stuff like that. And it's just all here for a reason. Like, when I stopped looking at tough times like the end of the day, life was just been on cruise control. Like, legit, I have not been in a bad mood. And you'll hear me referencing saying this a lot. I have not been in a bad mood in over a year. Like, you know what I mean? I get pissed off. Don't get me wrong about different things. But as far as that affecting my overall mood and my overall positive outlook, never. No matter what it is. Like, and that's one thing that's helped me significantly in my growth is looking at life like that. Yeah, man. So yeah, just being thankful, and there's other couple things in there that I would like to expound on. Maybe I could package that in another video here somewhere down the line. But being thankful, man, for the little things that you do have, even if they're not perfect, man, it's everything, man. Last year and the year before last, I literally almost lost it all, man. I literally lost everything but the spot that I live in. Like, I didn't have, my belongings within that little confinement. Everything else, I lost. And I know why now. I know why. And I lost them, to build the new world that I'm stepping into now. Like, that's just the universe telling me that, man, you're not going to need that stuff where you going. Like, you brand new. Come on, brand new ski. Come on now. You know how we going to do you? We going to take care of you. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not saying that, being facetious and Facetious wasn't the word that I was looking for, but I wasn't saying that being arrogant or anything like that, cause everyone should look in their situation in their life like that. I really feel like everyone should. And because you get better results instead of, being a negative Nancy or Debbie Downer about things that's happening. Um, Being positive, optimistic, thankful for where you're at. Um, and just keep working. Man, I was working a job the year before last, dude, that I had, that I was working when I was 19, man, making the same amount of money. Like, if that isn't a rewind in time, I don't know what is. Like, I'm literally on the line, like, dude, I was doing this when I was 19 and you offered me the same money then. If that wasn't a reality check, I don't know what was, man. And even in that moment, I still had to find appreciation for where I was at. I had to find appreciation. And one thing about finding appreciation for where you're at is there's never any doubt about that. Like, if you look up and find yourself in the most dark moments in your life, you got to embrace that because there's a lot of wisdom and there's a lot of jewels in that darkness. You just got to find it. And when you find it, you take that with you to battle the next boss at the next level. That's what you do. That's going to help you complete the next level. Is the gems that you found in the dark room back then. So always be thankful and appreciative for where you're at. I don't care if you were an addict, you overdosed last night, you found yourself in the hospital, back stable now. You have to accept that's where you are in life. Be present in the moment and literally work through that. Work through it. It's all a learning experience, man. It's all ups and downs, man. Everybody has their fluctuation, ups and downs. I think the deciding factor is how you handle the transition from up and down. That's where a lot of people go left. Some people are able to sustain, and even though they're down, just their mindset and their motivation keeps them at a level state to where they never fluctuate down really down low, you know. And some people just when they go through it, they'll crash, they'll go lower. Then when they start excelling more, they'll excel all the way up. Trying to keep that level playing field, in my opinion, it's the best strategy to have. And just being thankful, man, because like I said, I went through all of that with that vehicle situation. Now I got me some outside that I can jump in, and I can be in traffic right now just parlaying and stuff like that. And just because of the adjustments I had to make at the last level and bringing them with me to where I am now, I make better decisions. Like, just because I got a decent vehicle now, I'm not just riding around. I haven't been outside riding, parlaying all weekend like that. I'm still stuck on handling my business, doing what I'm trying to do. And that's discipline. You know what I mean? A lot of people pray for a change in their situation, get blessed with the change, and the change makes them change. Let me get an amen right there. I feel like I'm preaching this Sunday morning, man. Talk to me. Yeah, a lot of people want change so bad. You get blessed with the change, and guess what? When you get blessed with that change, it just changed you all the way up to where you're not even on there no more. The blessing actually took you farther away from what you're doing or your journey, your purpose. And it don't supposed to work like that. You're supposed to take all this stuff with you. If I picked up a knife last level, when I completed that level, I should have that with me, walking through the door on this one. And it's just how it go, man. But a lot of people would go and pray for a change, and when they get the change is so immediate and it feels so good to them. I guess we like to feel like we won, to where it just switches it up and take us farther away from where we were at. I could have easily got a new vehicle, and now I'm outside every weekend. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to do that. The things that I'm really tapped into, I put them on the back burner because I've got satisfaction from, you know, my situation changing now. Nah, we can't do that, man. We gotta still remember what it feels like when I was catching Ubers, when I didn't know how I was gonna get home, when I was riding, pulling up at the light with that hood off, people looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, is that a water jug you got in there? Yeah, it is. You gotta remember that. Remembering them times had me on weekends still handling business, not out bullshitting and fucking off just because, I got a decent vehicle now. So yeah, man, and these are little tips and things that I plan on taking into the next battles of life with. That's how I plan on rocking. Like I'm just aligned with the universe on that type of level. Like I'm not external whatsoever. I honestly feel like and believe that how you live is right here. This is how you live. However you think is how you live. So you want to change your situation, you got to change your thoughts, man. That way. Yeah, I had to start confronting myself. Like, when I have thoughts of envy or jealousy, or something like that, even though I'm not a hater, I've never been a hater. Like, and I don't know why people are haters. I've been hated on and stuff like that so much. I just don't understand why a person that doesn't even know you could want to hate on you, man. I've been fired from so many jobs just because people, I guess, didn't agree with my personality. I don't know. And I don't go out the way to do anything. But those are people. And with wisdom and maturity, you learn that some people are just like that. You can't let that rub off on you. You can't let that deter you. You got to stand firm and planted in what you trying to do and where you trying to go in life, and just keep moving forward. The spirit of discernment, just being able to see that on people, has you calling plays around it, and you still able to do the things that you're set out to do. But yeah, like I said, man, I don't want to get off subject too much, but being thankful for those small things, man, has just worked out tremendously. I give them credit to me being in the situation that I am in now, even though it's not just perfect. I still got a lot of work to do, but judging from where I came from, it's great, man. And another good thing about it is it's only gonna get better. That's the beautiful thing about it. It's only gonna get better, man. When you got into that culture and that routine of making the right decisions and stuff like that, if you're glad about where you are now, imagine how you gonna feel a year or 2 years down the line. It's only gonna get better because I'm only making right decisions. Like, I'm not making bad decisions anymore. That's out. Like, I've probably haven't made a bad decision in years type stuff, because everything is really thought out and calculated. I know what's right. I know what's meant. You know what I mean? So I'm only going to do what's right. Like, I'm just only going to do that. That's just how I live. And anyone else that really struggles with that, the advice that I give you is to follow your gut more. Another catchy thing that I heard someone say is, you can't even trust what you see nowadays. And that's absolutely true. You got to trust what you feel. And if it feels right, it feels good, man. That's how you rock out, man. And you don't get rewarded initially from doing it. That's another thing. Like instant gratification is not a real thing. Everything takes work. Everything takes, you know what I mean? And sometimes it may look like that, but you don't know the work and the sacrifices that that person put in prior to that. So that's how I stay locked in, man. And those are the principles I stay on. That's how I'm aligned out here. And if it's good now, it's only gonna get better because we're only making good decisions. We're not making bad decisions moving forward. I speak for an older crowd. I am 43 years old, so you know, whatever, you know. Don't call me OG yet. I ain't ready for that, you know what I mean? But you know, Mr. Well, yeah, man. Like I just want to kind of share. You know, it's a beautiful Sunday morning. You know, I'm chilling, man. I told myself I wasn't gonna procrastinate anymore on these videos. I'm gonna just have it give it to a raw and then cut. You know, just whatever and just put it out in the universe. And that's how we rock it, man. So yeah, I just wanted to, you know, grace you guys, bless you guys with a little motivation. You know, this Sunday morning. Hopefully it'll translate throughout the week. Maybe I can touch a couple people that's going through some rough times that feel like they don't have nothing going on type stuff. But really you do. Cause a lot of people don't even have that. You know what I mean? I used to be complaining and stuff about me not having a car or me riding a car without a hood on it until I pull up to work and it's a guy pushing himself down the street in a wheelchair trying to climb the hill pushing backwards. Now imagine that. So am I gonna be feeling bad for me going through? Nah, man. We staying positive, man. Off the top. That's the only way to rock, man. That's the only way to rock. And I only want to link and vibe with like-minded people, man. I literally had to cut off a lot of fat that I had in my life. People that was bringing BS, nonsense, and all that stuff. I had to trim it out. So positive vibes we're only inviting those type of vibes. This around this gap, man. So yeah, man, we ain't gonna drag this thing out, man. I just wanted to touch in with y'all a little bit on this good Sunday morning, man. I hope y'all be blessed, man. I hope y'all like this video. It's your boy.